Few people know why a woman cheats after giving birth. I didn't know either, until it happened to me. What I found out still keeps me awake at night. I'll tell you the reason at the very end, but first, you need to hear the whole story. Because unless you see how it all unfolded, the truth won't hit you the way it hit me. My name's Daniel. I'm 32. I thought I understood love, loyalty, and marriage, but there's something about becoming a father that changes you in ways you can't prepare for. And, apparently, it changes some women in ways you wouldn't believe. When our daughter was born 2 years ago, I thought my wife, Emily, and I were closer than ever. Those first weeks were a blur of sleepless nights, diaper changes, and moments so tender they felt like something out of a movie. She'd fall asleep with the baby on her chest, and I'd just sit there watching them, feeling like the luckiest man alive. But slowly, things started to shift. Not all at once. At first it was little changes. She started caring a lot more about her looks again. I figured it was a good thing. She deserved to feel beautiful after everything her body had been through. New clothes. Makeup every morning. The gym 3 times a week. Then 5. Then every day. I thought I was supporting her. I told her she looked amazing, that I was proud of her discipline. And I was. But somewhere in all those hours spent on hair appointments, salon nails, and long gym sessions, she started spending less time with me, and more time out. I didn't realize then that I was watching the start of the end of my marriage. The changes in Emily's routine didn't seem dangerous at first. If anything, I felt a little guilty for not matching her energy. She'd wake up early, get dressed in fitted leggings and a sports bra, hair perfectly tied back, and head to the gym before I even made my first cup of coffee. She started buying outfits that didn't look like anything she'd worn before. Dresses that were tighter. Shorter. She'd shrug it off when I noticed. "Oh, come on, I'm just feeling confident again. Don't you like it?" Of course I liked it, but there was a different tone in her voice when she said it. Not asking for my opinion, but almost daring me to question her. Then came the nights out. First it was once a month, Mom's night, with a few women from her parenting group. Then twice a month. Then almost every weekend. "Daniel, I need to feel like myself again. Just because I'm a mom doesn't mean I can't have fun." I'd stay home with our daughter, convincing myself she deserved this break. But my gut was starting to whisper things I didn't want to hear. One Saturday night, she came home at 2:30 a.m., hair a mess, smelling faintly of cologne that wasn't mine. She said she was with Jessica and the girls, but Jessica texted me the next day about a recipe, completely forgetting to mention the night out. That was the first time the thought hit me like a cold punch: what if she isn't with her friends at all? The moment that changed everything was so small, I almost missed it. It was a Tuesday morning. Emily had left her phone on the kitchen counter while she was in the shower, and it lit up with a notification. I wasn't the kind of husband to snoop, but the name on the screen wasn't one of her usual friends, just a first name I didn't recognize, Mark. The preview showed only a few words. "Last night was worth the risk." My stomach turned over. I knew I shouldn't, but my hands moved before my brain could stop them. I unlocked her phone, same passcode she'd always had, and opened the conversation. It wasn't pages of flirting or explicit photos. That almost made it worse. Just short, subtle messages that left too much room for the imagination. "Mark, can't stop thinking about you." "Emily, we shouldn't. You know that." "Mark, and yet you keep showing up." "Emily, stop." "Mark, you don't want me to." I put the phone down and walked away, my chest pounding. I didn't know what hurt more, the idea that she might already be cheating, or the possibility that I was still early enough to stop it, if it wasn't too late. When she came out of the shower, I tried to act normal. She kissed me on the cheek, smelling like shampoo and something faintly sweet, the same perfume she always wore when she went out. "Big day at work," she said, tying her hair back. I just nodded, pretending to read something on my laptop. But inside, my mind was already making plans. I've never thought of myself as the jealous type. But when trust starts to crack, your brain changes. Every little detail becomes a clue. Every odd moment becomes a possible sign. That week, I started paying closer attention. Not confronting her, not yet, just watching. When she said she was at the gym, I'd check the location she shared with me on her phone from when our daughter was born. Twice, it showed her across town, nowhere near the fitness center. When she posted a selfie in the mirror, I'd noticed the background didn't match our bedroom: hotel lamps, strange curtains. I even checked her Instagram tags, something I'd never done before. Most of them were harmless, friends commenting on old photos, but one stuck out. A picture from a girl in her mom's group showing a table full of cocktails. 3 women in the frame. But in the reflection of the bar's mirror, you could see a man leaning close to Emily, smiling. Not Mark, someone else entirely. By the end of that week, my mind was running on pure suspicion. One part of me begged to confront her immediately, demand the truth, rip the bandage off. The other part, the colder, more methodical part, wanted proof. Something undeniable. Friday night gave me the perfect chance. She kissed our daughter goodnight, told me she was meeting Jessica for drinks, and left in a black dress I'd never seen before. 10 minutes later, I grabbed my keys and followed. I kept my distance, 2 or 3 cars behind, just enough so my headlights wouldn't draw attention. Her taillights weaved through downtown traffic until she pulled into the parking lot of a small boutique hotel, the kind that has a rooftop bar and mood lighting, not family suites. She didn't go inside right away. She sat in her car for a minute, checking her phone, fixing her hair in the mirror. Then a man appeared from the side entrance, tall, dark suit, confident. He walked straight to her door like he'd done it before. She stepped out, smiling in a way I hadn't seen in months. They hugged, too long for friends, and went inside together. My hands tightened around the steering wheel. I parked across the street, close enough to see the lobby through the glass. They didn't go to the bar. They headed straight for the elevators. My chest felt hollow. I wanted to burst in, drag her out, demand to know what the hell she was doing. But I stayed where I was, frozen, watching those elevator doors close on them. Minutes passed. I told myself maybe it was a meeting room upstairs, maybe they were just talking. Then, 20 minutes later, the man came back down alone. Loosening his tie. Walking out to the street, checking his watch. She didn't come down for another hour. When she finally walked out, she wasn't smiling anymore. Just looking at her phone, slipping into her car, and driving off like nothing happened. When she walked through the front door that night, I was sitting on the couch with the TV on low. She smiled, kissed me quickly, and said, "Sorry I'm late. Jessica and I lost track of time." I nodded slowly. "Where'd you guys end up?" "Oh, just that wine bar on 8th. You know, the one with the little outdoor patio." I kept my eyes on the TV. Must have been cold out there tonight." She hesitated. Just for a split second. "Yeah, well, we sat inside most of the time." I could almost hear the lie solidifying in her throat. I decided to press a little harder. "Did anyone else come by?" "Nope. Just me and Jess." "Why?" I shrugged. "Just curious." Inside, I was screaming. I'd watched her walk into a hotel with another man, seen him leave alone, seen her follow later. And here she was, looking me in the eye, feeding me a story about sipping wine with Jessica. She went upstairs to change, humming under her breath. I sat there gripping the arm of the couch so hard my knuckles ached. That was the moment I realized, I didn't just need proof anymore. I needed to know why. The next morning, Emily left early for spin class. I waited until her car disappeared around the corner, then went straight for her nightstand drawer. That's where she usually left her phone charging when she was home, but today it was gone. For a second, I thought I'd lost my chance. Then I remembered the old iPad in our desk drawer. Same Apple ID. Same cloud sync. I powered it on, my pulse thudding in my ears, and opened the Messages app. It was all there. Not just Mark, but two other names I didn't recognize, Evan and Chris. Scrolling felt like peeling the skin off a wound. Mark, hotel tonight. Same place. Emily, can't. Daniel suspicious. Mark, then lunch. 20 minutes. Evan, you looked amazing yesterday. Emily, stop. You'll make me blush. Evan, you like it. Chris, miss your legs around me. Emily, be patient. I'll find time. It wasn't one affair. It was, rotations. Meetings slipped between gym visits, mom's nights, and errands. She wasn't just cheating, she was managing it like a second life. I sat there staring at the screen, trying to reconcile the woman I'd married, the mother of my child, with this stranger who could text 3 different men in the same week. And still, the question gnawed at me, why? Why risk everything we'd built? Why after the baby? Why now? That night, I waited for the perfect moment. I didn't want to start a fight in front of our daughter, so I kept it normal through dinner, bath time, bedtime. Once she was asleep, Emily came downstairs in pajamas, scrolling her phone like nothing was wrong. I asked casually, so, how was spin class this morning? She didn't look up. Good. Killer workout. I nodded. Where was it again? Downtown studio. Same as always. I leaned back on the couch. Funny. Because I checked the class schedule, there wasn't one today. Her head snapped up. You, checked? Yes. And I also checked our iPad. The blood drained from her face. Her phone was still in her hand, but she didn't even try to hide it now. Daniel, Don't, I cut in. Don't tell me it's nothing. Don't tell me it's just a friend. I've read the messages. All of them. Mark. Evan. Chris. Her mouth opened, then closed again. For once, she had no quick excuse, no ready lie. Just silence. I let it hang there. I wanted her to feel it, the weight of what she'd done, the finality in my voice. I'm not asking if it happened. I know it did. What I want to know, is why. She looked down at her lap, twisting her wedding ring. When she finally spoke, her voice was barely a whisper. You wouldn't understand. Didn't meet my eyes at first. Just stared at her hands like the answers might be written there. After our daughter was born. I felt invisible, she said quietly. I loved her more than anything, but I stopped feeling like me. My body wasn't mine anymore. My time wasn't mine. I'd look in the mirror and see a stranger. I stayed silent, letting her talk. When I started working out again, doing my hair, wearing nice clothes, I felt powerful. People noticed me. Men noticed me. And it made me feel alive again. Like I wasn't just a mom or a wife, I was wanted. Her voice cracked, but she pushed on. It wasn't about replacing you. It was about remembering I could still make someone's heart race. That I still had, that effect. I clenched my jaw. And you couldn't get that from me? She shook her head. It's not the same. You know me too well. You see the messy parts. These guys, they only see the best version of me. The version I control. It was almost worse hearing her say it than catching her in the act. She wasn't talking about a single mistake. She was describing an addiction. The thrill of being seen through fresh eyes. And in that moment, I realized, even if she stopped now, even if she swore it was over, she'd always be chasing that feeling. I leaned back, studying her face, the woman I'd promised forever to, the mother of my child, and I couldn't recognize her anymore. You know what the worst part is? I said quietly. It's not the sex. It's that you built a whole other life right in front of me, and you thought I'd never notice. Her eyes filled, but she didn't deny it. Daniel, I don't want to lose our family. I can stop. I need help. I shook my head. You don't need my help. You need an audience. You need the high of being the center of someone else's attention. And that's not a marriage. That's a stage. She reached for my hand. I pulled it back. What about our daughter? I swallowed hard. She's the only reason I'll keep talking to you at all. But us? We're done. Her shoulders collapsed. For a moment, the room was so silent I could hear the refrigerator humming in the kitchen. I stood, walked upstairs, and began packing a bag. By morning, I'd be gone, and so would the man who believed she'd never betray me. It's been months since that night. The divorce papers are in motion, custody talks underway. I see my daughter every week, and every time I hold her, I remind myself she's the only good thing that came out of my marriage. I've had too much time to think about the why. People online will tell you all sorts of things, that women cheat because of neglect, because of postpartum depression, because of unmet emotional needs. And then there's that theory I stumbled across late one night, scrolling through articles I didn't even want to be reading. That after giving birth, some women who pour time, energy, and resources into reclaiming their appearance can trigger changes in their brain chemistry. Some suggest it spikes hormones like vasopressin, the same chemical linked to bonding, trust, and risk-taking, and for a small percentage, that surge doesn't draw them closer to their partner. It pushes them toward novelty. Toward danger. I don't know if that's true. I'm not a scientist. But I know this, after our daughter was born, Emily became obsessed with being seen again. Not just by me, but by anyone. She rebuilt herself, piece by piece, hair, nails, body, clothes, and the moment she felt she'd gotten it back, she needed to test it. To prove it still worked. Maybe for her, cheating wasn't about leaving me. It was about standing in front of a mirror and believing she could still make the world look twice. If that's the real reason, it doesn't make it hurt any less. And if it's something deeper, chemical, primal, then maybe it was always going to happen, no matter what I did. All I know is, when trust breaks, there's no hormone in the world that can put it back together.